and generate more conflict.
Exactly, because sometimes conflict is not just verbal. It can also be in person. Body language, aggressive. No, because it manifests itself in different ways as we externalize it.
Again, as you said, the way, how do you communicate?
Sure, since
From the form, how do you communicate? So what's left is like messages, breathe a lot.
look, I recommend that when your rules are being surpassed by IR, it's always better to be honest. That is because you can be honest with yourself, not with yourself. While you're angry or you're furious or whatever, you can say, I need some time. To me, that's that. Is it perhaps a golden rule that I know? And it's so easy, I need time for myself. And that time for you can be whatever you want. Maybe I'm going to sit down, I'm going to walk, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to take a bath. There are so many ways of escape that unfortunately, as I tell you, David, unfortunately, we get carried away by our animal instinct to from power to being, from power to power with him. But being there is much easier and consumes less energy just by moving yourself.
Of course, not ignoring it is simply not running away from the conflict. Simply giving yourself your time, because in the end it is your peace.
That's right, it's your peace, and sometimes it's also your time. That is, if you dedicate time to something, then something that is going to generate more conflict for you, then you yourself are the problem of your own peace. So sometimes it's better to play it safe. You also sometimes swallow your pride, don't you?
Sure, but why? Of course, what you say is to give yourself, not to give time to those with problems, but to give yourself time to be calm and at peace, knowing that first. Participation in every battle isn't essential.
Choose wisely.
You have to choose them well, and that this is having peace or not being in conflicts or not generating conflicts, but rather not going, but simply saying, I'm not going to do this, it's not right, I'm retiring to do it myself. Are you okay with me?
Is that when one goes through deep training, not from one itself 11. For example, you are a man of science, David, and I imagine you always like to search and find solutions. So when we have that mindset in and we apply it in every aspect of our life, in our relationships as friends, in our love relationships, in our professional relationship, where that is, the only thing that matters is to solve for the common good. And when I can fix it, turn around, know what, where. I am in a better position to solve something that I cannot solve. So also understand where we belong. It is very important to develop our superego, you know.
Of course. Here, the only thing that has become clear to me is that I am the sole owner of my own behavior.
That's right.
So I have to know and know myself to create the appropriate rules. Because only I can do it all. With guidance or alone. But I have to create and know what I am doing wrong, how to solve it, how to generate clear rules where there is no bypass or alternative, but rather create clear rules and know what I can't keep creating conflicts. No, what I need is simply to make the decision, not in conflict, but what is right, what is wrong, nothing more that is marked by that, because this way I kill the superego. I don't kill. If it's not that I lower it to the it and the superego making a clear decision, as you say, black or white, then I am the one who has to know myself. What am I doing wrong? How can I improve it with clear rules? And by having clear rules, I make the right decision with Elego. It's over and not generate conflict, or as always, we talk about something, go to the highest part of a tree, take it out this time and look at more things.
That's right. And of course, and that makes us, no, let's not just grow as a human being if we cannot also help others to understand this kind of education. No, because it is something fundamental. And also remember, remember that we had little on hormones, right? Also understand our biological and chemical behavior, which also influences the IR and the superego. No, we're very complex for some reason. And the ugliest thing is that the ego has to make all this complex to make a simple decision.
Not simple because it's one.
But they treat him like royalty, letting him relax as if it's natural.
As I mentioned, you must understand and adhere to key principles when handling these situations.
Indeed, and it occasionally adds a unique dynamic.
Understand when those rules must evolve because they have already served you in a purpose, in a time, and in a circumstance. Oh, of course.
Because everything is evolving, so no, not everything is going to be the same, is it? The same passivity will not exist. The same conflict will be different, or there will be different people with different conflicts that you have to deal with. Then I've been to feed myself, in the sense it's helped me see what I've done wrong. As many times as a person, personally, I get carried away a lot by negative or primitive thinking. The hit when I'm the one who has to put it down to tell him, hey, you're wrong, and not add to it or justify it with my superhero. But I've noticed, through observation, I noticed what I excelled at and where I faltered, partially thanks to Freud.
Thank you. And the funny thing about it is that you don't know if you have listened to the people who say, I shouldn't change. Or, for example, there is a saying that is said here in the United States a lot, that he is an old dog, he cannot learn new tricks. So, for example, do these people have a super ego who think that everyone must adapt to them, that they are the center of the universe, and therefore, since they do not plan to change, that everyone must try to change for them? And that is the most selfish thought that can exist, not only impulsively, but that also in your ego or your super ego. Also because everything is in conjunction with an orchestra working in symphony to justify that the world must change because they themselves feel more important than the world. And those people don't have much danger because it's psychopathic behavior.
Yes, however, I notice it even further, truly, because it's a conduct shaped by fear itself that prevails.
Exactly. Also out of fear
Because of the fear of change, the fear
of giving in.
to give in, of course. What's more, the primitive institute is something, fear.
Precisely, and your observation is spot on because yielding implies allowing something unfamiliar to penetrate you, something for which you might not yet have readied yourself.
And it's fear, of course, and it should be, it is.
It must be clear, and so on. I mean, the topic is interesting. I wanted to see if, I don't know if you would like it, maybe in our next episode, talk about, there is I think he's a real genius, Russian literature, Dostoevsky. Crime and Punishment, brother, is one of the best literature you can read. Or I was also thinking, 100 Years of Solitude, since we're talking about this ego and super ego behaviors. No, 100 Years of Solitude talks about behavior that doesn't change for generations. No.
Sure, that's why 100 years of loneliness, generation after generation.
Making the same mistake, the same error and so on though.
They know it's bad, it's still going on. I mean, it's like every time I stick my finger in the candle, I'm going to burn. Keep doing it.
Until finally someone breaks that family cultural cycle that I had. Not, for example, that book is very interesting about human behavior.
I don't have it. I read half of it.
It's good, it's that at least I have a sibling audiobook because I don't have the time.
But look, come on, let's go if you want, David. Let's try to do it. I think you like 2 sizes.
That in the book, of course, we have to read it well.
And no, I think there is also audio, and let's see if I send it to you so you can listen to it in audio. And is it maybe one of the best books written, but yeah, look, so let's leave that for maybe another month, so we have time. But now tell me who you would like to talk about in our next episode to prepare us.
I believe that 100 Years of Solitude is good, and also that of solidity. Yes, because let's see, they were radical thoughts, they were different personalities.
Some different time.
Various Latin Americans contributed their talents to these works, showcasing brilliance, yet numerous readers failed to grasp the essence of the book.
That's how UI recognizes it. My admiration for the book has always been profound, particularly when pondering Homer's masterpieces, the Iliad and Odyssey.
Help us continue to embrace these human experiences and explore more about ourselves and others by just subscribing. If you like our content, definitely like, comment, share it. But also, if you want to be part of our podcast, all you have to do is leave a comment and tell us what you want to talk about. Remember, this is the platform for the people, and we're here to explore those life experiences that are very unique to you and to everyone else. Don't forget to subscribe.